This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened.
I stand within a world that is running out of sand, and looking around me, I see mindless individuals practicing rituals so they can receive their residuals. I see life being given the things that possess no life at all, only so that those around them can potentially fall. I see corruption within an organization that claims to have the solutions to our biggest equations, when in reality their solutions are predetermined by a small group of men who love to commit sin times 10. And let me ask you something. If you were a slave and made your way to a king, would you ever want to be a slave again? Then how could you blame these men? And it doesn't matter because only 1 out of every 10 think this exists, so let's go ahead and forget this list before anyone gets pissed. But speaking of slaves, let's go ahead and revert back to their graves. 1619, this was the first year the first groups of slaves were sold to British American colonies. 1641, Massachusetts became the first colony to create policy to legalize slavery, and it was at this point that the black man was legally ball and chained to a life of pain because of the color of his skin. And to me, this is actual sin, and makes me think that these white men have any light within. But then again, maybe they were just taught that the color of their exterior made them superior, when in actuality, they have the exact same interior. Understand that racism is taught. It is not merely a free thought. Think about it. Is a baby born with the ability to hate and discriminate? Or is it his mother and father, the ones who demonstrate and preach and teach until it becomes concrete, and beneath my feet I stand within a world that is running out of sand and is getting out of hand, so I am taking a stand. I seek to change a generation's state of mind, to quit being blind and to get behind an idea that we are not a lost cause. The significant problems that we face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. Albert Einstein. And don't you think it's time you stop thinking that this is just another rhyme? Outdated ways of thinking and parenting are to blame for all our pain. And if we remain the same, we'll be the only ones to blame. In order to change the world, I believe we must change how a generation parents. So if we can teach and preach to our adolescents that being discriminate is merely being ignorant, and to be brilliant is to be considerate. Just because someone is not the same color as you does not give you the permission to think or treat anything less of them. I have a dream, said Martin Luther King, that one day this very nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and I completely believe that this is reachable. So in conclusion to this composition, I would like to encourage a generation to rise above outdated ways of thinking and parenting so that we as a whole can benefit today, but more importantly, so that generations to come can benefit as well. And lastly, understand that humanity is what we are, and humanity is what we need. Simply believe.